The sun was harsh and unforgiving that afternoon, glowing off the glass buildings of the city and turning the sidewalks into shimmering mirrors of heat. Cars rushed by, people hurried with purpose, and opportunities drifted by unseen, except for the one moment that would change Aaron Whitlock's entire life. He had been on his way to the most important job interview he had ever secured, wearing the only pressed white shirt he owned and holding a resume he had rewritten at least 20 times. His heart was pounding with hope, fear, and the weight of everything he wanted to become. But just as he crossed Weston Avenue, he saw something that shattered all that focus in an instant, a young woman stumbling onto the crosswalk, collapsing to her knees as if the world itself had given up beneath her. Her long blonde hair fell into her face, her red dress catching the sunlight as she struggled to breathe. People walked past her as if she were invisible, their eyes fixed on their own lives. Aaron stopped mid-stride, his decision made in the space of a heartbeat. If you believe kindness still matters, if you believe second chances come to those who choose what's right, then make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. And before the story continues, tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Your place might appear in a future story. Aaron rushed to the girl's side. Her name, he learned later, was Harper Lane. But in that moment, she was simply a terrified young woman struggling to stay conscious. He lifted her gently, helping her to her feet, noticing how her pale hands trembled as she tried to steady herself. Sweat beaded on her forehead despite the warm breeze, and she whispered that she felt dizzy, that she hadn't eaten since the night before. Her voice was barely audible. Aaron guided her to a nearby bus stop bench, shielding her from the midday glare with his own body. He offered her his water bottle, helped her breathe, and waited until her strength slowly returned. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. By the time Harper could stand again, Aaron's interview window had already closed. His heart sank, but he didn't let it show. He helped her call a ride, waited until she was safely inside, and gave her a reassuring nod before turning away. He walked in the opposite direction with heavy steps, knowing very well what he had sacrificed. Aaron reached the company building where he had hoped to interview, a towering structure of steel that seemed to look down at him with indifference. At the lobby reception desk, he was told politely and emotionlessly that the interviews had ended. The hiring manager had left. The decision had been made. He stood there, feeling the air knocked out of him, not by the heat, not by the long walk, but by the heavy, sinking realization that kindness had cost him a chance at changing his life. The receptionist's expression softened when she saw his disappointment, but rules were rules. Aaron walked back outside, his shadow stretching long on the hot pavement as if following him in sympathy. For the next week, Aaron returned to his routine of small part-time jobs, delivering packages, cleaning a storage facility at dawn, and sorting inventory in a dusty warehouse. He never mentioned to anyone what had happened. He didn't regret helping the girl, he simply regretted that the world didn't reward moments like that. Bills piled up. His hopes dimmed. He wondered if he was destined for a life that never seemed to rise above survival. But life, in its mysterious ways, had seen everything. One Thursday morning, just after finishing a delivery shift, Aaron received an unexpected phone call. The voice on the other end belonged to a woman named Celeste Rayner, the executive assistant to the CEO of Weston Industries, the same company where Aaron had lost his interview. Aaron's breath caught in his throat as she asked him to come in immediately, not for an interview, but for a meeting personally requested by the CEO. Shock and confusion tangled inside him. Had they reconsidered? Had they heard something about him? Nervously, he boarded the bus and rode to the glittering headquarters. The CEO's office was vast, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the cityscape, sunlight pouring across polished floors. Behind a mahogany desk sat Vincent Lane, a man with sharp features softened only by the tired, worried lines around his eyes. He stood when Aaron entered, offering a firm handshake that held unexpected warmth. On the sofa beside him sat Harper, the girl in the red dress, the same girl who had collapsed in the street. She looked healthier now, her blonde hair neatly tied, her posture strong. When she smiled at Aaron, it wasn't the smile of a stranger, but of someone who had been waiting to thank him properly. Vincent explained everything. Harper wasn't just anyone, she was his daughter. She had been under immense pressure due to a project disaster at the company, had barely slept, had forgotten to eat, and had been on her way to confront a mistake she thought might cost her father's reputation. When she collapsed, she had been overwhelmed mentally and physically. Harper then recounted in detail how Aaron had stayed with her, helped her breathe, protected her from the sun, and made sure she was safe. She had tried to find him afterward but didn't know his name until security footage from the bus stop helped identify him. Vincent looked at Aaron with genuine gratitude, telling him that character mattered more than credentials. Anyone can prepare for an interview, he said, but not everyone chooses compassion over self-interest. He offered Aaron not the entry-level position he had originally pursued, but a better one, an assistant coordinator role with training included, full benefits, and long-term growth opportunities. Aaron stood there speechless, tears lingering at the corner of his eyes, the reality of the moment hitting him in waves. He had lost an opportunity, yes, but by doing the right thing, he had gained something far greater. As you read this, if the story has touched your heart even a little, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your engagement keeps these real feeling stories alive. Before we end, tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were in Aaron's place? Your answer might inspire someone today. And so, Aaron began a new chapter, one born not from ambition alone, but from kindness, courage, and a split-second choice that revealed who he truly was. Sometimes, life closes a door not to punish us, but to lead us toward a better one. And sometimes, the goodness we show in our quietest moments becomes the very reason our destiny changes.